Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing on this lovely day? Libtards and media. Turns out, shut it off. God. Turns out that Secret Service knew about the credible threat in Pennsylvania days before the attempted assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life. Days. They knew about a credible threat. Days. This is a joke headline. Still no credible threat on Donald Trump's life. Let's focus on Kamala Harris's joy. People are sick. Even though I wrote that headline. Secret Service was told of credible threat to Donald Trump days before Butler rally. I mean, this article is just insane. These are two of the top stories that I find the most interesting and funny as well. I saved the funny part for last. The Secret Service was warned of a credible threat days before the leading up to the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump on July 13th at the campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, but failed to act accordingly to a damning bipartisan Senate report released Wednesday. The Senate Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs released an interim report on the attack and detailed numerous failures by the Secret Service to secure the site and to respond to threats. I think one of the funniest things I saw was this headline: Trump assassination attempt, inexperienced Secret Service agent flying drone called toll-free number for help. This is not one of my headlines that I made up, okay? Trump is a hot cookie, says Valerie. 150K is insanely low for Trump. Yeah, that is way too low. Secret Service didn't even know how to fly a flying drone. Somebody help me. I lied on my resume and told everyone I knew how to fly. I think this is where it kind of gets even more interesting. The committee finds that the USSS's failures is planning, communities, security, and allocation and resources for the July 13th Butler rally were foreseeable, preventable, and directly related to the events resulting in the assassination attempt that day. Good morning, Willie. Okay, but this is where it gets kind of like just, again, why do you trust the government to fix your problems? The report said that the Secret Service lead advance agent was made aware of credible intelligence threat to Trump on January 9th, but that she still reported that there was no adverse intelligence in a security planning document in preparation for the rally. In response to the threat, a Secret Service counter sniper team was assigned to the rally, but almost no one was told of the threat. Nobody was saying anything about the threat. They kept it all to the chest because even though I meant this silly, stupid headline, still no credible threat on Donald Trump's life. Let's focus on Kamala Harris's joy. These people want nothing. They don't want you to have any ounce of empathy towards this man whatsoever. Even if there's a credible threat on his life, they're like, yeah, I just don't know yet. I don't know for sure. The lead agent is like, I don't think so. And then we're the conspiracy theorists for asking questions or being like, was it an inside job? If you guys knew about it, if you knew there was a credible threat, it'd be different if you guys knew there was a credible threat. You told everyone there was a credible threat. You told Trump there was a credible threat. He did it anyways because he's like, you know what? I got to do these rallies.
I'm going to come.
Donald Trump needs to get out and do these. That'll be different. But knowing there's a credible threat and then not telling anyone there's a credible threat, but then putting a sniper team up and you're like, hey, you would think you would tell the snipers at least. And the fact that there are drone agents in our government that don't know how to work these drones. Your job is to protect a president and you don't know even how to work a drone? Let me come in and do that job for you. It's really not that difficult. And the fact that Crooks was also flying his drone. Remember this? Crooks was flying his drone 200 yards from the site. Used a rangefinder capable of gauging the distance to the former president less than an hour before he began speaking. And to bring 2 explosive devices with the proximity of the rally. This is like either one of the most epic failures of all time, or it was completely on purpose. And you be the judge of that. If you put Donald Trump in the context of how the world views him, especially the left, especially governmental agencies, the deep state, whatever, you would assume, one would have to assume that they let this slide on purpose. I mean, if he was just beloved and everyone loved him and the governmental agencies loved him, he wasn't being charged with any ridiculous charges, then you would say this is a catastrophic failure. But because you put it in context about how much they hate this man and view him as the existential threat to democracy, if you put that in the context, then you have to come to assume that it was on purpose. It's ridiculous. It's insane. And we're just sitting here going to work and we're like, whatever. It's like, whatever, Donald Trump, it's a Republican versus a Democrat. It's not that, the deep state wants to go after him. Even CNN is jumping on this. Willie says, we were far right for ask all along. Yes. Crooks in his drone. Even CNN. Look at this. This is from CNN right at the top. Secret Service agents failed to take charge of decision-making for security at the Butler, Pennsylvania rally. A bipartisan Senate committee revealed in a new report on Wednesday, that's today, leading to key lapses in preparation of the communication that day. They just didn't even tell anyone. We're finding out that there's a credible threat, but we're not going to go too deep into it because we don't want to have empathy for this guy whatsoever. And we're supposed to come together as a nation? No chance. What makes you trust these people? Nobody. It's just like every time there's something the government can do to make your life better, they find a way to make it worse. They find a way to make it absolutely worse. You think you want to run for president in today's world? Hell no. It's crazy. The effects of DEI. It's not just a white and black issue. It's also a life and death issue. Golly. All right. This was also one of the funniest things that I've seen today. And I want to put it in context. So at the beginning, we talked about Donald Trump and the credible threat and how they didn't actually care about the Donald Trump's credible threat on his own life. And they just let it slide. Now we have MSNBC who won't shut up about January 6th. They just won't shut up. But this interview is just so great. It's just great to see them finally see what other people see. Watch this.
And talk to me about your level of interest in the criminal charges and so forth.
February 6th.
January 6th.
Oh, oops.
So I remember that day. I know he was the standing president.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm not familiar with the charges that are being brought against him for that.
Nobody cares.
I'm not following that charge.
Yeah. You're not following that charge?
Cases going on. I'm just not familiar with it.
I mean, that doesn't sound like it's going to be a factor in deciding who to vote for.
And that's a problem for me.
Okay, so when I say January 6th, what do you think?
Oh, I just remember seeing it on the news, like all the riots and stuff. Don't really know what it was about or what happened, though.
Oh.
How did it make you feel when you saw it?
I don't know. I don't really feel any way about it. I mean,
Nobody cares.
people showed their emotion, I guess. Probably in the wrong way, but it happened.
And talk to me about your level of interest.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Sorry you didn't get the interview you thought you were going to get. Sorry you found out nobody actually cares. Nobody actually cares. MSNBC finally realizes why their ratings are trash. Nobody cares about January 6th. Sorry. No one cares. People actually care about themselves. They care about providing for their family. I know it's confusing for you, MSNBC. And yes, I wrote this headline, and yes, I rewrote some of MSNBC's headlines. So if you just come to the bottom... Oh, it changed. Dang it. Change my headline for me. Why'd you do that? Look. It's sad. MSNBC has put all their eggs in one basket. And at the end of the day, we don't care. We don't care. January 6th? Oh, are we still talking about that?
And talk to me about your level of interest in the criminal charges and so forth.
February 6th.
January
February 6th. We don't even know the dates. This is what happens when you talk to real people, MSNBC. This is what happens when you get out of your bubble. You find out that not every single American, A, lives online, and B, lives in DC. We don't care. Some of us have lives to live. Some of us don't worship the government like you guys do.
So I remember that day. I know he was the standing president.
Yeah, this is not a test. I bet he feels like it's a test. I mean, I bet he feels like, oh my God, I'm on MSNBC right now. They're going to think I'm some kind of right-wing nut job. I'm going to have to tell them I can speak the language. I know what happened that day. Don't put me in the corner. Don't put baby in the corner.
I'm not familiar with the charges that are being brought against him for.
You're not familiar with the most existential threat known to mankind, known as Donald Trump? I love this interview.
That I'm not following that charge or I know there's multiple court cases going on. I'm just not familiar with it.
I mean,
you're gonna sit here and seriously tell me you have no idea what's happening to the most existential threat to this country known to mankind?
that doesn't sound like it's going to be a factor in deciding who to vote for.
No.
Okay, so when I say January 6th, what do you think?
Oh, I just remember seeing it on the news, like all the riots and stuff. Don't really know what it was about or what happened, though.
How did it make you feel when you saw it?
I don't know. I don't really feel any way about it. I mean, people showed their emotion, I guess. Maybe probably in the wrong way, but it happened.
Did you say...
Probably in the wrong way? What are you, nuts? It was the biggest, most existential threat known to mankind. You're over here just relaxed, and people died.
Look, MSNBC, maybe it's time to find a new narrative to go with. We went from Donald Trump peeing on models in Russia to being in bed with Putin to January 6th. The white people are evil, and January 6th is the worst day in the history of America. Ain't cutting it anymore. Nobody cares. And that sucks for you. Sorry. It's just the rules. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And remember to make a difference in somebody's life today and have fun today. Have a good day. It's freaking Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. We're going to make it through. Valerie and Willie, I'm thankful you guys are here. Have a wonderful day. Drop a like if you do not mind. I'll see you guys later today. And guess what? Kamala Harris is actually doing an interview today on MSNBC. It's going to be